Hi friends! Welcome to my side of the interwebs. Today I want to talk about authenticity from an esoteric, even astrological, mysticism perspective. We've all heard people say you have to be your authentic self, you have to build up your self-worth and your self-love. And to me, it's just so much more than that. It's at like an energetic level. I believe that our souls created our astrological natal chart. We decided when we were going to come down to earth, we were going to beam down into this body in this specific skin suit, in this avatar. We chose the people who are going to teach us lessons, and we are higher beings, our higher selves. We're so intelligent because it is part of infinite universal life force energy that we were very smart and we did not make any mistakes. So with that understanding though, it is our job in this particular skin suit, in this avatar, if you will, to express ourselves in the unique energetic vibration, light, code, whatever word you want to use in this particular lifetime. Today is July 1st. It also happens to be Jupiter Thursdays, which are my favorite days as my ruling planet is Jupiter, and I'm always on the quest for expansion and learning, like a higher expanded level of consciousness. And I really do believe that we are going to be able to change the trajectory of this earth and our society through expanded consciousness and awareness. With that being said, I have a different definition of manifestation and co-creating our dream life than probably a lot of different people, because I consider myself to also be a social justice warrior, activist. I like to think that I'm helping the collective through true liberation and freedom of all bodies. And with that being said, for me, manifestation and calling in my dream life also entails my community, my family, the bigger collective at large, because I know inherently that when I'm successful, that when I'm abundant, that I pour into my communities, the people around me, my family. And also I just believe that what we are all really seeking in anything with, whether it be material, which I believe we have that right as human beings. We decided to come onto this 3D plane to experience the earthly things. But ultimately, like, what we want from those things are the feelings that it gives us. And that is usually related to the lower energy centers, the lower chakras, our safety, our security, fulfillment, our passions, our desires, and making us feel fulfilled in a way that only when we can express our true authentic self that we get to experience that alignment. And when I talk about alignment, I truly mean the things that light our souls on fire, that make us feel so happy and joyful. And we know that through our intuition and our knowing, our deeper inner knowing, that part of us that just knows, again, our higher selves, and also our feelings. So as human beings, we were gifted the things of emotions, of feelings. Emotions are energy in motion. And oftentimes we ignore those feelings or those gut instincts or those intuitive impulses because we try to conform, we try to blend in, because for survival as well, I know a lot of us people of color, a lot of BIPOC people, we really try to assimilate to the dominant people, tried to be as white as we could, tried to be as straight as we could, like whatever the dominant group was, right? We just tried to conform. But with that being said, that lowers our vibration, that lowers our life force energy. And I really hesitate to use words like that because of the new age, distorted conceptions of what these words entail. And what I mean by high vibration, I just mean living in your full alignment of what you want to do in this lifetime for the highest good of all involved. So not just individualistic. We live in America, which is a very individualistic society of, becoming the entrepreneur, getting after it, filling up your bag, getting that coin. But for me, I come from a collectivist culture. I'm Asian, I'm Korean American, where it's collectivist. So it's very much, for me, what sets my heart on fire and what makes me fulfilled is to not only give to myself, but to pour back to my family and my community. So today, again, is July 1st. If you're watching this, we have a very tense aspect in the sky. It's Mars forming a T-square to Saturn and Uranus. And if you want to learn more about July's astrology, please go onto my podcast, available on Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify. My friend Stephanie Powell from Leona Moon Astrology will walk you through the significant dates. But today, in particular, I was meditating on these energies, and we're going into sort of like after the eclipse season, after Mercury retrograde, we're going into sort of an energetic shift this month in July, and then even more towards Leo season. But with that being said, Saturn and Uranus are planets, are collective planets, and this energy is very much about the past and the future, the old versus the new. And Mars being there forming a T-square, Mars in Leo is all about, okay, but what do I want? Like, what sets my heart on fire? Again, like, take the essence of what I'm saying and take what resonates for your situation and leave what does not resonate. Because again, for me personally, like, what I want and what sets my soul on fire is for the good of all involved. And I know not everybody thinks that way. Try not to judge. But anyways, I believe that, and I lived this life at one point, back when I was working in private equity in New York City. I was with a guy who was a beautiful soul. He is and continues to be a beautiful human being. And we were great together. We were great together on paper. We looked great together from the outside. Our lives were perfect. We had the perfect house, apartment, cars, like everything from the outside looked beautiful and perfect. It looked good on paper. But each of us did not feel fulfilled within us. And I can only speak for myself in this situation when I say it's really because I was going through my Saturn return at the time, and I didn't understand what that meant because I didn't learn astrology up until a few years later. But I really needed to be on my own. I really needed to learn about myself and do a lot of healing. And I just knew my soul, the deeper knowing part of me just knew that this wasn't it. There was something missing. And what was missing was with me. 100% union with my own higher self. And I wish I had this language back then, but hindsight is 2020. But we both ignored this inner feeling, our intuitive impulses, our gut instincts, the feelings that we were feeling at the time. And because we both didn't have a way to communicate them, it just like the energy of resentment and awkwardness was just kept building up until it Mars in Leo, like, okay, but what do I want, right? Like that energy needed to be released somehow. But I will have to say that I think a lot of people, again, not judging, because I did it too, including myself, we stay in situations that no longer serve us because it looks good on paper and we don't listen to how we feel. And society tells us, because society is built up for control, to, get after the high paying job, get after the thing that looks good, get after security in a way that's like, completely devoid of feeling and emotion and empathy, and get to a level of status and power I'll strive for. So I ignored this feeling. We both ignored this feeling for way too long, and now I realize that it was within myself that I just was not fulfilled. I was not happy in my life, and therefore how could I be happy in a relationship if I was not happy with myself? So that's just a personal example of how I felt it and I could feel it and I knew it, but I just didn't do anything about it because my mind was taking over and being logical about the situation and saying, oh, what if this is how relationships are supposed to be? What if it's supposed to be like this, and everyone's telling me that you're so lucky and that you're so perfect. And meanwhile, inside, I was not feeling any of those things. So really, I feel this energy, especially since Saturn and Jupiter were in conjunction in December 21st of 2020 in the sign of Aquarius, which is all about freedom. Aquarius is all about authenticity, being so true to yourself. But also Aquarius is the water bearer in tarot, right? The star card. And it's really like when you pour into yourself and when you can step into your authentic truth, you can pour out to your community, because like Rumi said, you are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean. You are the drop and the entire ocean, so that when you stand in your authentic truth, what you love to do, who you are, without having to get defensive and explaining it to anybody, that is when you truly pour into the collective, the community. And I have my moon in Aquarius, so I've been working with my moon a lot, my moon in Aquarius energy, and how that needs to be expressed more than my sun, because the sun is very masculine. The sun is the part of us that we want to show to this earth, also the ascendant sign, right? But the moon is the part of us that truly makes us feel emotionally fulfilled. I say all this because, you know, as the unicorn black sheep of the family, for a really long time, I felt like I had to defend myself of the certain life choices that I've made over the years. You know, like I studied psychology, I traveled the world, I became nomadic. Like I just chose different things than the rest of my family, and I used to get super defensive about it. And now I consider myself to be, you know, so... I've worked on my self-worth. I've worked on just standing in my truth. And then when, if any, nobody ever bothers me about this anymore, that I do get those offhanded comments about my life choices or the way that I dress or the way that I look, I don't even need to defend, because if I defend, that means that something inside me is accepting that truth, and then I have to defend it. And I think a lot of people know exactly who they are, know what they want to do, especially from childhood, but because of social programming, conditioning, and control, people just start losing themselves and everyone becomes the same. And I just unsubscribed from that paradigm, that matrix. So Mars in Leo, is the Leo rules the fifth house, which is all about play, childhood, remembering what makes you feel passionate and have desire. Now there is a shadow side to Mars, right? Where again, Mars will take action for the individual, just me, I'm shining, right? But being in opposition to Saturn and Aquarius, which is the opposite sign of Leo, is asking you to pull the brakes back and ask, okay, but how is this in the best interest of all involved, the collective, the community? And then square to Uranus is wherever you have Taurus in your chart, how can I break free of some stagnant, fixed energies in my life? And this is a very fixed sign. All of these signs are fixed. Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius. So these are things that have been like calcified, right? Saturn is all about calcification. Saturn rules our structures and our bones, our skeletal system. And so this transit and this next coming couple of weeks with all of these energies is really asking you to look at all the parts of your life that have been calcified, that have been fixed. Ask yourself what you truly want, what really sets your soul on fire. Even look back to your childhood, again, Leo energy, with the intention of the highest good of all involved. Happy Jupiter Thursdays. Have a beautiful week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.